All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the virtual podcast on Creative Cloud Hub. My name is Toby Daniels, as you well know, and today we will be going into really interesting stories. So here is where Zayn will tell us about this theme that we have and the stories we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so the team for today is surviving African parents. I'm pretty sure we all have one story or the other to tell about what we had to experience or like deal with our parents. So we have four entries today, and there is also prize money, and prize money is 40,000 naira. And so yeah. I look forward to hearing people experience or what they had to experience or deal with and endure.
Looking forward to the amazing stories. And so if you're watching this video right now, we would love for you to comment what you think 40,000 naira can buy in this present economy in Nigeria. So regardless of where you are, whether in the north, south, east, or west, we would like to know what you think 40,000 naira can buy. For me, here where I am currently, it's not a lot, but so let us know in the comment section. Thank you very much. So let's dive right in.
I'm going to start with, I'm not sure if this is Pia or Fia. I'm not sure, but I'm sorry for murdering your name.
Because, like Philomena, Fia, Philemon, I think.
I'm not sure which it is.
Oh.
Okay, so surviving African parents. Omorogun was my greatest fear. Omorogun, if you don't know what Omorogun is turning Gary. That's what, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Omorogun was my greatest fear. Belts, slippers, and the most regular pankere. Their rods and their staffs discomforted me. It was never a good feeling. How will I be flogged till I whip and still flogged till I stop? Those continuous talks and rants always made more tears drop. Let's not talk about the comparison with children of our neighbors. I couldn't just wait to leave for higher institution. My one survival mechanism was learning never to talk back. This at least made me avoid some dirty slaps. Another I learned was never to dodge their whips, or else I would be accused of joining cultists. Dear child, I advise you never to form odeshi. That remorseful face might just be all your parents need. Endure now. The end to Cain is gradually approaching. You will survive, just like I did.
Interesting.
I don't know what to say. It's a bit sad at the same time. Like I don't know.
The first line that got my attention was their rods and their staff discomforted me. Like, this is a great allusion to that psalm in the Bible, but a little bit twisted. So I get the wordplay here. It's really interesting to read. The also the interpolation of words, like using Yoruba words in some places. I can tell this person is Yoruba. Well, I might be wrong, but I think this person has Yoruba influence somehow. Maybe you live around Yoruba people, or you're Yoruba yourself, which is really interesting for me because I am Yoruba 100%.
I actually like that puts all the intonations, right? When that's actually impressive because I don't even know how to do that. And it's
wow. It is impressive. And it is a lot of work actually, because
to get the right.
It changed the meaning of the word itself. Also, I love the what's it called? Well, let me quickly talk about the all caps. Why? Why is a poem in all caps?
What's wrong with that?
But I'm just wondering why it's in all caps. Like, some people, because we all think about things differently. When we stuff in all caps, it's like a lot sometimes to take in. Yeah. I'm not repeating that. I'm not judging that right now. I'm just saying why in all caps. Because I think if you want it to be easy on the eyes for some people, It could be in normal sentence case. However, um talking about punctuation, I do not see like full stops in between,
Yeah.
which I think should, because you used it. If you didn't use it at all, maybe we could say it's not your style.
That is
You
the
used,
last two stanza.
yeah, but I think it's an oversight. We could easily forgive you for that, easily. But anyways, this is a good poem. I love it. Like I said, I love the interpolation of words. Um, I also love the allusion you made to Psalms here. Their rods and their staff discomforted me. I think this is a really nice one. And I also love how it made, just like you said earlier, it brought back memories, kind of. It made me reminiscent of like, uh, I mean, this is reminiscent of childhood somehow
Yeah.
for me, especially growing up in a place where you will get beaten for, really, really mundane things. But anyways, this is a good poem. I love it. I would score it 6 out of 10.
Why?
Okay, what would you score it? I might rethink. What would you score it?
I would. I'll give the person 7.
Hmm.
I'll give the person 7.
Okay, why do you think a 7 is okay?
I don't know. I just pity the person.
Uh, uh,
No
well,
mind, but it's just no. But I actually enjoy what's the word? I enjoy the, as you said, the wordplay, and then the way the person just told. I don't know. I don't know if I'll say told the story, because it's not a story, but like it just flows, and
hmm.
I'm finding it hard to find words to express myself. But I like it. I like it.
Okay, so Fia, to be fair, let me join Zane on this one. I'm going to give you a 7 also,
Why?
so that you don't see us as unkind people. But I'm going to give you a 7. But I think you could do better with punctuations. I see that you did punctuations in some places, which actually makes a lot of sense. I think I can never stress this enough to anybody watching right now. I think you always have to pay attention to punctuations. It helps people to understand and judge your writing accurately. So please look into that. It's very, very important. Put commas where necessary, put semicolon where necessary, put full stops where necessary. It helps a lot. So yes, a 7 from me to you, Fia.
So, quick one before we move on to the next entry. How do we properly use semicolon, for instance? Because I don't think a lot of people were taught how to properly punctuate in school.
So I think depending on the kind of writing that you're doing, let me just start by saying, regardless of what writing you're doing, punctuations are very important. And for a punctuation like semicolon, it helps to expound on maybe a phrase you made or a sentence. So for instance, you say something like, let me look for something here that I could quickly use. For instance, you say something like, Jesus, you're the best. Picks up a brother man, right? Now, in this sense, it could be written differently. You could say, Jesus, you're the best, full stop. You could fix up a brother man, full stop. And those are 2 different sentences, right? But you could also write in such a way that you say, Jesus, you're the best, semicolon. You could fix up a brother man. So now that you use a semicolon, you could fix up a brother man, that phrase or that sentence helps to give more understanding to Jesus, you're the best. Do you
Okay.
understand? It's like following that sentence, it's like pushing the sentence further to explain more about what you just said. Do you understand?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
for instance, I say something like, Zane is a beautiful woman, a woman who is blah 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 blah. Right? And I could say Zane is a beautiful woman, full stop, and then I go to another sentence, a woman who is blah 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 blah. But if I say Zane is a beautiful woman, semicolon, a woman who is, that means I'm explaining more about that beauty.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. All right, it's locked in now. And I understand. Okay, so now
Oh,
let's move on to the next one.
okay. So on to the next poem. We have
Adon's
this one
story.
from okay, this is from Adu, right?
Yes.
But why am I seeing Kolakbo Motola on the poem? Is it the
Okay.
same person?
Yeah, I it's the same person. I guess there was a mix up there.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so this entry is from Kolakbo Motola. It's called Surviving African Parents.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. The story said, the
Mm-hmm.
stories heard of how powerful they are. I would term them the real African giants because surviving them is like the survival of the fittest. Hmm. The African parents. Surviving African parents is a journey, an endless game that never stops, an
Mm-hmm.
unending journey that makes one fearless or faceless. Lest I forget the trials and tribulations faced and new superpowers learned. From early morning chores to late night advices, surviving African parents. There's an exclamation mark there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like entering the lion's den. There are various nagging on how education is vital, or how we should not forget our cultures and backgrounds, with their trainings, with their trainings that tend to shape us more. Expectations soaring high, no room for disgrace, endless lectures on success, the path clearly traced,
So
yet our dreams often lay dormant, our passions misplaced, surviving African parents, a endless endeavor, duty before desire, born to an African home. Their dreams we must fulfill, our passions we must delete, their honor we must uphold, ambitions we cast aside, all in the name of being their child, surviving African parents. A roller coaster ride. You learn about mischief with a little bit of laughter. We learn to read their faces and take it as training. Understanding body languages tend to be our daily activity. Their stories and myths that leave us their stories and myths that leaves us to wonder, surviving African parents. For in our unwavering care lies a burden to bear, a story to share, a legacy untold. For surviving African parents make us makes us African parents.
hmm.
This
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 one is
is
it's well rounded. Like it covers and touches everything that
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Why do I feel like this person is a philosopher of some sort? Because this is kind of deep. I love
Mm-hmm.
exploration of dreams, passions, and how African parents regulate that.
Hmm.
African parents want you to be secured. They want you to be, well established in conventional things that they feel safe with. You know, this poem explores that, and I think that's really interesting. What would you rate this poem?
9.5.
What is going on? Why?
What's it? Okay, so it has all the like the punctuations right. It has all the punctuations right for
Hmm.
me. And the wordings, as I said, is well rounded for me. So
Hmm.
that's why I think it is. I just didn't want to do 10/10. But 9.5 is solid. It really did touch. So compared to um Fear's own, it was just more about like the corporal punishment, or like how African parents can be very physical and handsy with you. But with this person's own, as I said, it talks about your dream, how you have to what's the word? Kill your dreams to live theirs, because they are trying to relive their own dreams through their children. For me, yeah, this is so. But what would you rate it?
Hmm. Okay, now that Almighty Zane has given you 9.5 out of 10, Kolakbo, I wonder what sort of prayers you pray every day and how such prayers have worked on Zane. But it's all right. To start with, Kolakbo, this is an amazing poem. I think I like it. I feel like a bad judge right now. I feel like a bad judge right now. No, 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 no. I'm
No,
not a
you
bad
know,
judge.
like AGT, you're like what's that, Simon? You're never like impressed. You're not too impressed. You don't.
To be fair, I would say that it is really hard to impress me, you know,
Mhm.
but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anyways, this is a poem that I think I like. To start with, I'm not going to judge the case of the story, maybe lowercase, uppercase, all caps. I'm not going to judge that because the first story was all caps too. So this one is also all caps. So let's leave that out of the picture for now. This is a nice poem. I like it. However, my opinion, Kolabo, this is the longest poem that I think does not give us a chance to breathe because I'm seeing a lot of commas. I think the last place where there was this exclamation mark after how many lines is where we breathe first of all in this poem. I think
Mhm.
that's the first place we breathe before the last line again. What is going on? Like, give us a chance to say Selah, in our head. Give us a chance to say, you know,
Hmm.
you just bombarded us with, you know, the story said, I mean, comma, 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 comma. I want to imagine you're probably, I could be wrong. I want to imagine maybe you do a lot of spoken word poetry because I know that spoken word poetry gives the vibe of speaking without punctuations a lot of times. I mean, a lot of spoken word artists I know, they don't give room for punctuations in how they deliver the lines. So it's easy to assume that when you're writing, especially if you've been used to spoken word poetry, it's easy to write as though you're writing it in spoken word performance light. So maybe that's why, I could be wrong again, but maybe that's why this is written this way. But still, you will be judged for that. So, um, please, it doesn't take away from the thread of the poem. If full stops are used in some places, it helps us to settle in, to follow, you know. For
Okay.
example, the line that says, "Yet our dreams often lay dormant, our passions misplaced." Maybe a full stop will be nice there, and then we'll go back to surviving African parents. A selfless endeavor. A semicolon would have been great here, by the way. Surviving African parents, semicolon, a selfless
Mhm.
endeavor to before desire, all that. You know, please,
Yeah. So that's why
punctuation.
we need to teach us and educate us. Go ahead, please.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will give you. I will give you
I-
7.
I'm risked. Ouch! Wow. Compared to what this the other guy had.
Oh, I forgot. I moved to 7 for that one. I'm going to give you 8. Okay, 8.5.
That's still fair.
8.5. 8.5 out of 10. Yeah.
But wait, before we go forward, yeah, tell me one of your surviving African parents story.
Hmm. Wow. Um. Well, this is you throwing me under the bus right now, because thinking back, I'm like, I have many instances where I survived African parents, but I remember there was this time when I was much younger. I used to love video games.
Yeah.
Um, And I think it was when I discovered video games. So the passion was there, the zeal to always want to play video games was there. And I would still, to go play video games.
Still, what were you stealing?
Money. I would steal from my parents to go play video games. And well, stealing is bad, not advocating for that. But the passion, they didn't really understand the passion that I had to want to
Mhm.
play video games because it was exciting. It was it was also very good for the imagination. If you have a lot of people who play video games, it's because it stimulates their imagination, you know. But my African parents could not understand. They just saw it as trancy and you
Hmm.
just serious and all that. So that passion died by God's grace. I also I got trashed more than a few times because of that, because I would always go to where these games are played, or the match centers and all that. So maybe
Mhm.
that's a story of survival. I don't know if it matches, but
They basically beat it out of you, but okay.
yeah, they did. They really did. It worked. It really worked.
Oh God, it's
What about
well.
you?
Oh. I was a very laid back child, but the one time I would say my mom laid hands on me, it was because of my elder sister. So my parents are very cool, laid back. They don't stress us. But I think she did something, or like she's 5 years older than I am. And then
Mm-hmm.
she went to her friends. So she's usually doing it like she'll go to her friends, she'll come back very late at night, she'll go to her friends, she'll come back very late. So that particular day, I would always be the only one at home.
Mm.
And I now decided to also waka my own waka.
Wow.
But I wasn't far from the house. I was just in the next building with our neighbors. And then my mom came back panicking because she couldn't find anyone.
Yeah.
And so when I got to my mom, my mom has this thing where if she wants to even punish you, she wait till midnight so nobody can come and save you from her. And then she punished us. So she beat the hell out of us. I think I remember passing out and I woke up to my mother still beating me. That's the only time she ever like touched me, but it was my sister that caused it. It was my sister. She was the one that made them beat me that day, and I will not forgive that girl.
I don't know that thing about. I don't know why. I don't know why African parents have that thing where
Mhm.
sometimes they want to discipline you. They will wait till midnight.
Midnight, yeah, and
That
it
is a
was just
villain behavior. Honestly, that is a villain behavior. But we survived. They made us superheroes.
so that's I think that's the most horrific. That one cannot leave my head. Never, never, ever, ever. But yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so what do you want to say?
I said interesting, interesting. And I see that our next topic is my mother's spatula. This you are reading this, so it works perfectly for what you just said.
Ouch! Ouch! Okay, okay. So my mother's spatula.
Mm,
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. My mother's
ironic.
spatula ignored ignored the memo. No sin too grave, no note too tight for the wooden god scope to Chester. My back bears the map. My back bears the maps of the visas. Oh, I acquired stamps that remind me what a wanderer I have been. Each wealth was another culture shock for the books.
Mm,
Racism more painful when you don't see it coming. Mother Spatula was a bike on jet engines. You could
mm.
run fast, but child, you're
Just
just
human.
human. Mother came skilled with a cutthroat precision. If her spatula missed, you still wind up wounded. Hmm.
Mm.
I don't know. I
Mm.
don't know.
Mm.
Hmm. What did you have to say, Toby? You have the floor, please.
Mm.
But
I'm
what do you
still
think
hungry.
about this one? Should I have any like so when you're starting a sentence, you're supposed to start it with like the first alphabet capital
Yeah.
letter. She doesn't have any of that. It's all and even when she puts a full stop, right? Her next line is still starting with small alphabet. So I don't know what think about that.
Well,
And then
Eli,
she got the semicolon part right. Mm,
you know, this is some for some reason, yeah. This is a sad part. For some reason, I love it when people use semicolons because
mm,
I see you as Omo Agbanye, you understand, you know this.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was waiting to hear your more analysis about the story from you. from the poem rather.
Okay. To be right now, I don't have much to say. Maybe if you or when you go ahead, it might help me
Hmm.
articulate.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. So, Elias, nice name. Dodo Elias Denen. Interesting.
Mm.
That's a nice name. So I think this is a nice poem. My mother's
Mhm.
spatula. Interesting. Uh,
By the way, spatula is the omorogun that the first entry talked about too,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah. We could also call it that.
Mhm.
The
But wait, why African parents violent like this? Eh? Why?
violence is in their blood. It's part of the ingredients that I feel like God put into African parents when he was making African parents. It was like, okay, just more than to violence, more than to
Kí ló
violence.
ṣẹlẹ̀? This is it's too much because now all, the three okay well the second entry didn't really talk much about this, but then it's the fact that she even used the word she said my back bears the maps of the visas I acquired.
Accrued.
English is thank you accrued stamps that remind me what a wonder I have been. So she's trying to say that what Elias trying to say he's a very stubborn child or woman check back home. Why?
Elias, I don't know if you understand Yoruba. You seem to me like an Alarika. That's what this that's what this poem, I mean, gives me, the vibe it gives me. Like you've been to places and then you got beaten because of that. You're an Ajala in human flesh. Uh
But I like
but
the
this
word "pay" though.
what is
It's
it?
just
The
the
word
word
play.
pay.
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
love the culture shock thing. And each word was another culture shock for the books. Really, really inciting
Mm,
line. Risk,
racism more
you know.
painful when you don't see it coming. Like, what
Mm,
were you thinking about that made you use this?
you get.
Oh yeah, give us your verdict. Give us your verdict because if we keep pondering on this, I don't think we wouldn't go anywhere.
Okay, so
Yeah, but
Elias,
bye.
is that what? What did you
I
say?
said I said Elias Tisori Agbakodo bye.
Elias, I wish you understand what you said. It means you're making us think. Hmm. Elias,
Okay.
this is a wonderful poem. Honestly, I will give it to you. It's a wonderful poem.
Mm,
Um, I love the wordplay. I love the thought behind the lines, the coinage of words. I think it's
mhm,
really interesting. Um, however, see, me, I'm an academic
mm,
somehow. I love to
mhm.
be academic. And because of that, it makes me have a lot of biases, you know. And
Yeah.
again, go a long way. Um, I think this is a style. I think this thing of writing with not having capital letters in front of your first
Yeah.
words is the style that people use.
Okay.
However, however, I think if you're entering for a competition and you know that it's a competition, you should follow some laid out conventional principles that could score you high points, regardless of what your style is or what you would regularly do, because this is a competition, right? And it might not be me, it could be someone else, reading or judging this work, maybe a professor or an English teacher or something. They would judge you based on their biases. So let's get out of the way. There are no capital letters in front of any new lines here, which I think shouldn't be. Um, Also, you kept up with punctuations to a large extent, but at some points you did not give us punctuations, right?
Mhm.
For example, the second to the last, or let me say the how many lines do we have here?
One, two.
Let's say 3 lines from the bottom line, three lines,
Mhm,
3 lines up here from the bottom line. You said you could run fast, but child, you could run fast, comma, but child, comma, I like it. You're just human. Where's the full
mhm,
stop here? What's full stop? Because this is a new sentence you're starting right after that. Mother came back skilled with a cultural precision. You know,
mhm.
I think you should have been consistent with the punctuation. So you tried with the punctuation, but you were not consistent enough. And also the beginning of the sentences could have been better. But I must commend that you didn't write in all caps, which I think make it easy on the eyes to read. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I do. I do actually.
Easy eyes to read. It makes it subtle and warm. We don't feel like it's all up in our faces, which I think is something other people should take note of. So, final word. I will give you 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
give you 9 out of
I would do. I'll do 8.5.
8.5. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I'm not a wicked person in this instance, so just
Yeah, but that was actually a good one. That's a good one. Hmm. Okay.
let
So
me read this. Imagine this line: no sin too grave, no nook too tight for the wooden god's scope to chastise. You're calling your mother wooden god. It's okay. So
oh, the child pick. People are showing so English. I'm trying to say something, but I don't. I also want to say it in the right way.
okay,
Hmm. Don't worry. Let's move on.
okay.
Okay, so would you go?
All right. So I'm taking the next one, and this one is called. It's also
Let's
called
do two.
surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one is from Pearl,
Yeah.
AJ Pearl. African parents are roars that back the lions, where no meant no, and yes meant try hard.
Hmm.
Parents, the general, rule with titanium hands, leaving no room for mistakes, only a master plan. Their love was tough like the African soil, nourishing yet unyielding, making me toil for every triumph. 1,000 warnings came. Be better, be strong, be worthy of our name. But amidst the trainings, I found love. I found a way to grow, to thrive, to rise above the fray. From the happening inside, from the happening side, I saw the
Mhm.
pride in their eyes. They'll take their stride, but the pressure was a heavy test to succeed, to make their wings high, or else ask why. A constant reminder: you must be better, you must be rare. Through all the fears, I emerged stronger, wiser, more resilient. A testament to surviving African parents. It's true, I rise above the noise with every step I take. A survivor with a story to make. A survivor, a warrior with a story to make.
Hmm.
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 Hey, Bill, nice one. You gave us
Hmm.
you gave us Anthony Joshua's basketball. You didn't tell us you are Anthony Joshua's
But
younger.
I like that. After everything, the person, it's like a moment of, okay, I see why they were the way they were. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that there was a moment of, what's it called again? A moment of what's it called? Help me, please.
Or acceptance. I don't know. What are you trying to say?
No, not acceptance. So it's more like an epiphany. Like, okay, it's not like they hate me. It's not like they're, yes,
Realization sort of.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Hmm.
that. I like that. I like that.
Hey, interesting. Interesting. Interesting.
Okay. What do you have to say about this one? No
Wait.
punctuation. Okay, just a few punctuations.
Hmm. So I think that this is also a great poem. Nice one. Um, I think moving forward, I would judge the poem itself, like the content and the context of the poem itself before I
Mm-hmm.
judge, so that we put the art aside from the writing
Yeah.
and punctuation, so that we put things in perspective or why they deserve certain points. Anyways, nice poem. I love comparing to the rose that back the lines up. Interesting thoughts. I love something like there was one particular line that stood out to me.
Which
There
ones?
was one, yeah. The parents, the general rule with titanium hands. Nice one. I like. I would give an overall of 8.5. I think I'll say 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Almost nine. Almost nine. Almost nine. The
Okay.
the fact that you didn't write in all caps really, really um I think what you should take note of next time, AJ Pearl, is how to divide your poem into stanzas. Because I feel like there's a connecting thought between some of the lines, but you put like spaces, like you separated these stanzas. So for instance,
Mm-hmm.
it says, I mean, I think this should be the second to the last. What's it called? Second to the last stanza. It says, "From the happening side, I saw the pride in their eyes. They take their stride, but the pressure was a heavy test." Right? And it seems to me like it's a continuation to succeed, to make their wings high, or else ask why. But there is
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see
like
what you're
it's like a breakage.
I see what you're saying. I see
Maybe
what
I'm
you're
seeing this wrongly. I don't know. You could have another opinion, maybe,
but the
but I feel
pressure
like
was the heavy
maybe because
test.
we're interpreting it, but I
So
feel like it's supposed to be like a connecting something
hmm,
there.
to grow, to try from the happy side, I saw the pride in their eyes. To succeed, to make their way.
Do you get it?
I do, I get it, but then I also see why AJ didn't join it because the next sentence, sort of flows with the first one as well.
Mm.
So maybe that's why that happened. A constant reminder you must be better, you must be where. I think it's still tied together with the line that you're talking about. So maybe that's why AJ didn't join it.
I guess so. Maybe uh,
How
another
about the punctuations? What do you think about?
punctuations is not complete. You tried at some point with the punctuations, but you didn't let us know when some sentences were definite. We should know when you stop some sentences or where they tie into the next one, you know. And generally, it's a nice poem. I would give it an overall.
And overall, what?
I'm conflicted here. I don't know what score to give. Ah, 8.5.
Hmm. Do you know? I actually feel like the second entry, I overscored. Can we remove Mark?
No, no, that was wickedness now.
Can't
You
I
already gave
mean?
the mark. I mean,
Okay, okay, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so but I'll do it for AJ as well. So I'm going
eight,
with
not
it.
8.5, not 8.5.
No, eight. Eight. Actually, you're right. I think that guy, that second entry, the person he used Jazzo because
Yeah, I said it. I was like, what prayer did you pray to
prayer.
make what prayer?
Okay, so but who do you think the winner is for this
Network.
week?
My network is over the place, all over the place. Can you hear
Can
me
you
now?
hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, great.
Hmm. So
So,
I asked who you think the winner is for this week, for this
well, I
mhm.
think it's quite clear who our winner is for this week. Um, we well, let's go with so let's start from the beginning. The first person scored what? Me?
7-7.
7-7. The person scored, the second person I gave the person
8.5 and I did 9.5.
yeah, and the third person I gave what?
Think 9. No, I think 8.5. You said close to 9, I remember. And I gave the person 8.
AIDS. Wow. And then to be very fair, I think the third person deserves a 9.
Yeah.
Let's I'm just gonna go with 9 for the third person. 9.
But you just said I can't change mark now for this. But
Sorry.
we should be able to
Right? You
yeah, we
should
should be able to change our minds. But I was just going to reduce it to 9 instead of 9.5. I wasn't going to drastically reduce it, but like 9, yeah.
sorry, 9.5.
So the person I gave 9.5, I would like to reduce it to 9. So that would be 9 and 8.5. And then the next person, you said you want to give the person 9, Abby,
Mm,
the third entry, and then I'm giving the person 8. And then this fourth entry, I'm giving the person 8 as well. What are you giving the person?
8.5.
So there's a tie.
That's a tie. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
between the second entry and the third entry.
okay. Oh, the second entry and third entry.
Yeah.
All right. So that's between Kolakwa, Omotola, and Elias, right?
Yeah. Oh, is that where the tie is? Because 9 and yours is 8.5, and then the next person you give the person 9 and I give the person 8. Is that a tie? Is there a tie there?
Sorry, come again.
The second entry, right,
Yeah.
is 9 and 8.5, and the third entry is 9 and
Oh,
8. Actually, there's no tie.
oh, sorry, you're freezing.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
So I said that the second entry has 9
Yeah. Okay.
and 9 and 8.5,
Mm-hmm.
and then the third entry has 8.5, 8 and 9.
Hmm.
So there is actually no tie. And then this last one, you gave AJ what?
I gave AJ 9. Did I? I think
9,
8.5.
8.5, and then I gave AJ 8. So
Oh.
it's actually the second entry.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
this. Wow. Sorry,
Wow.
sorry, my mom.
Like this second entry guy, give me your soap dealer because what's this?
Omotola, let us know what you
Let
are.
us go. What's soap for us, please?
Let us know what you are bathing with. What is the soap that you're bathing with? What do you used to do to the water? Anyways, I think it's a great poem too.
Yeah, but do
That's
you
why
think
all
it's
hands.
worth it compared to everything we had? Do you think
Mhm.
it's worth it?
I think it's worth it, actually. I think it's worth it. I love about how you talk about passions, survival
Mhm,
of the fittest, game that
mhm,
never stops. I love the fact that you refer to African parents as African giants. It's a really, really great poem. Really, really great poem. I
mhm,
love there's a particular line here that I think is really important. Duty before desire. And I think it's something that parents regulate. Parents try to put you on the right path, you know,
mhm,
not giving so much power to your proclivities, in quotes. They
mhm.
help you get grounded, which is something I think is really important. So, Kolakbo Motola, you are hereby drum roll,
Oh,
announced
yeah. Woo,
the winner of this episode.
woo,
Really,
woo,
really, really, really. Interestingly, you're the only one who put an image in your poem.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even judge you for that, but I think that's commendable.
That's yeah, it is actually. So
Really,
yeah,
really nice. Well done, well done.
I enjoyed this team. I enjoyed it. I think everyone came prepared and everyone had like they had a lot to say about surviving African parents,
Mm,
and I think that's something. Although
yeah.
it's not really great, African parents shouldn't be proud of being the way that they are. But we're hoping that our generation would do a lot better. We'll be different. Let's hope, and I hope we don't overcompensate for how our parents were, and then we I feel like there's no way you would train your child without some sort of trauma. Like they won't, even if it's nothing too serious, there shall be something you that would
Mm.
damage
To
them
be
somehow. Just hope it's nothing grievous. What?
mm, mm. To be very fair, I think that we're all going to have a trail of that Africanness in us because
Mm,
Motala says here, surviving African parents makes us African parents. And I think that is
mhm.
very like sometimes we might decide not to go certain routes, but we will also show a shade of that
Yeah,
Africanness in us somehow.
yeah. But I just hope everyone, I hope that everyone they're able to work on themselves and correct what they need to correct before they actually start welcoming children and then training children before we repeat the same cycle or as I said overcompensate. I hope we're able to find a balance, Sha, and find what works for us basically
Sense.
for us. I don't know. Fear they catch myself, to have a child sometimes. Because
Balance.
hmm,
Because
but
what?
what? No, it's
Because
just scary. It's scary having someone having, you have to train someone, whatever decisions they make to some extent falls back on you as a parent. So you may tend to feel like you failed if they don't make the best decisions in life. So it's a whole lot of pressure on them. And I understand why they always, put that pressure on us. But then sometimes I think that they forget that we are our own person as well. So you shouldn't be imposing well, not ideologies, but like you shouldn't be imposing like, okay, this is how you must do it, this is how you must go, like, because I have my own journey to walk as well. I came to this life to fulfill certain purpose. It may not necessarily align with yours, so you don't have to force me to walk your journey, like, to so I think some parents get it wrong in that place. And that's why I think where the second ethic talked about where you put your passions on hold to yes, so that made a lot of sense to me, although my own family was a bit different. I mean,
mm,
nobody, but then yeah, I understand to an extent.
yeah, I agree. I also think the reason why African parents are the way they are is also because of the fears that they have, which I
Yeah.
think is very good. Because looking at the kind of society that we're in, we realize that um if you don't put things in the right trail that they should follow, it's easy for things for people rather, especially children, to it
Mhm.
and just choose their own. And whatever they choose, they will bear the consequences of it. So I think that African parents a lot of times realize like the depth of consequences, and so they try to avoid that. I think that fear.
Yeah, but you can't fully avoid because people learn from making mistakes too. But that's the way, like you're supposed. I think maybe from early ages to maybe like 10, you
Mm,
can stand with them because that's their formative years. But I think maybe their teenage years, you just need to guide them. You shouldn't, there are certain situations that you put your foot down, but I think that it should be more of guidance, and also help them to believe in themselves, and like, help them to trust in their own decision making skills and their strength. But a lot of parents don't. They'll say, no, this is where I want you to go, this is how I want to do it, and that's wrong. But I know it's not an easy job, so I still commend them, because a lot of our parents are broken people. I'm no offense, but it's just they are.
Met African kids. African kids are a lot too.
Yeah, I know. So, but then it's like it's not like a job where you go on internship to learn and stuff. So it's like you just figure it out on the job. So I understand that it's very tricky, but well done, African parents. Well done.
Well, until the next episode, guys, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook. Are we on Facebook?
I don't think
I don't know
so.
if we're
No, we're not.
follow Instagram and YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube.
And
So,
make sure you comment. Let us know what you think in the comment section. We'd like to hear from you. So also, I look forward to the next episode where we'll discuss more stories. Until next time, my name is Toby Daniels.
And I'm Zane, God's gracious gift to mankind. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. Bye bye.
All right, bye.